This segment is brought to you by A.J. Doman Chevrolet. We say yes when others say no.
Hey everybody, welcome back into Bayou Time. I am Harry McCullough. It's been a rough couple of days and over into a night in Berwick at the Berwick Police Department jail, as they had a couple of escapees and had a couple of guys on the loose, but a lot of teamwork and a lot of effort from the law enforcement there, including the Berwick Police Department and the St. Mary Parish Sheriff's Office have got those two guys in custody. Here to talk a little more about it is Lieutenant David Spencer, who is with the St. Mary Parish Office, and J.P. Henry, Assistant Chief of Police. We'll break a little news here. Soon to be sworn in as the Chief of Police of the Berwick Police Department. Join us to talk about it. First of all, J.P., congratulations, and I guess Friday you'll be sworn in for the Chief of Police. This will be a good way to start your being the chief there as you're sworn in there. Tell me about the incident and what took place, and talk about the next couple of days.
Okay, so we're back up on Wednesday on November the 12th that evening, or approximately around 10 o'clock, a little bit after 10 o'clock p.m. on that night. Two inmates, Cecil Stratton and Brandon Brunet, escaped from our jail. During that process, one of our officers were viciously attacked by both of those inmates, in which a unknown type of substance, chemical substance, was thrown into the face of that officer, and they continued to attack him, punching him. At some point, Mr. Brunet was able to flee the jail and leave the building. But however, Mr. Stratton was continued in the altercation with our officer, where our officer was able to, keep him at bay for a couple of minutes, which was unbelievable incident, because he was disarmed of his pepper spray. He was disarmed at some point of his taser. The taser was not used against him. The taser was discarded during the scuffle. And however, he was pepper sprayed by Stratton as he was able to escape the building as well and leave the jail. He was last seen running down Canton Street through 3rd Street here in Berwick. And we didn't see him for 2 days, like Lieutenant Spencer said. However, that very evening, about 30 minutes into the ordeal, we were able to bring Brunet back into custody without incident in the Far Street area of Berwick, which is still on the old side of Berwick. He didn't get too far. Hats off to our citizens of Berwick who was able to give us a call and say that there was a suspicious subject running through his yard. Officers were in that area because we had Sheriff's Office, Morgan City PD, and Berwick PD flooded the area looking for the subjects, and we had officers in that area immediately and took Brunet into custody, like I said, within 30 minutes of that jailbreak. So that was a good thing, and so hats off to our community for assisting us with that.
Yeah, that's great. And your officer's okay that was in the jail is okay now?
Yes, sir. He was, again, he was treated by, I believe, a Acadian ambulance on scene. He was not transported or anything. So he's okay at this time.
Okay. And David, then the St. Mary Parish gets involved, and you guys were involved in this manhunt. And like I say, it took 2 days and some change, really chasing around community to find him.
Right. It was us and Morgan City Police Department that came in and helped out with Berwick. Our investigator, the case was turned over him to investigate, but the rest of us, we were running down leads. We were exchanging information constantly, and really, I wish I could just show, if we possibly could, if that was a deal, if I could show all the involvement from all three agencies and all the people that were doing things, the guys that were coming on when they were off, that things that were happening. We looked in several areas starting that night and throughout the next couple of days. And really, when Friday afternoon broke, it actually broke with JP and I standing in a parking lot of a business in Berwick. We had exhausted everything that we could do at that moment. And so when we debriefed, we had just run a place. We had flown a drone, had some guys looking in a wooded area, and we debriefed on that. And basically everybody was like, that's all we got right now. Let's give it some time. And I remember one of the guys saying, you know what, he's going to make a mistake. And we knew that would be the case, but JP and I were talking, we were like, we didn't know it would be a couple, 2-3 hours later. But sure enough, later Friday night, Morgan City received a tip that he was in the Morgan City area. And so they did so well. They contacted Berwick and us, and we got our boots on the ground, laid out a perimeter in a spot, and started walking through the area. And I came in, I was there with the other guys, and then all of a sudden we heard on the radio that they had located him at a business right on 182. And basically he had gotten into a boat that had a cover on it. And some of the guys that were walking through, just had that thought. If I was him, I might hide in that boat under that cover. And so they pulled the cover back, and there he was. And so he was taken without incident, and, put him in the car, and we brought him in for questioning. And it was a wonderful moment, to be honest with you. A lot of high fives because we were wore out. We had put in hours of work. And I remember JP at one point said, I'm glad this is over. I need some rest.
Well, I imagine that's not something you go home and can get any sleep when there's two fugitives that are in the area. But great job of working for everybody, coming together and working as a team. And these two guys will now be in Angola. So they traded Berwick prison for Angola prison, right?
Yes.
Right. They came up on the short end of the stick of that one. We had taken both of them to the LEC to get them processed in, and then and basically made reservations at Angola, and gave them a free ride up there with the silver bracelets and the laid out treatment. And so now they're in Angola.
Yeah.
So everybody's sleeping better now.
Right, right. Yeah, no, for sure. So, guys, thanks so much for joining us and telling your story. Of course, Lieutenant Spencer, and now Chief JP Henry. So thanks, guys, so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Anytime.
All right, we'll be right back with more Bayou Time right after this.
This segment was brought to you by A.J. Doman Chevrolet. We say yes when others say no.